Hello, friends, brothers and sisters. I'm Carmen Henneman, and I wanted to start our today's video with an interesting question. Then, have you ever heard the word metamorphosis? And if you did, how can you define it? Well, I think this is a kind of a process of transformation, as we already probably heard before. So, as we see here, for the little caterpillar to become a beautiful butterfly, it needs or will need to nullify itself inside of this cocoon, as we see here. And by the way, from this point, I will be using the process of transformation related to the butterfly because I think it is one of the most common. And at the same time, I will try through these next minutes to compare the transformation of the butterfly with the transformation which God can see and work with us together in our own life. But to fully understand the concept of the word metamorphosis, as we saw earlier in my other previous videos, one of the best ways to find out the exact meaning of the word is to go directly to its origin. Why the origin of the word is so important? Because the origin can remote us to the language or languages where the word came from. And then it will help us to fully understand the concept and even help us to better apply the same definition later. So originally, metamorphosis came from the Latin, which is metamorphosis, and the original Greek, metamorphosis. As we see, the pronunciation are a little similar, and the difference is basically the morphology, which is this part, the external part of the word, as we see here, and we can see there is a little different in the morphology, even if the pronunciation is almost the same. And as we also see from here, Latin, Greek, and even later will work also with the Hebrew, all these important languages agreed in this, with the same translation and the same interpretation. This is the reason why I bring them here to be part of our comment. They agreed very well, even if the Greek as in the New Testament and Hebrew as in the Old, they agreed completely with the same definition and application or interpretation of the word metamorphosis, as we'll see from now. So, together with the origin, we also need to work with the etymology of the word. Now, why the etymology is so important when we investigate or analyze or study vocabulary or new or specific words. Why? Because the etymology can shows us the importance, the power, and how deep is the word from its root. It is very, very important. If we understand the root, where the word came from, and its complete meaning, we will know how to apply correctly in other different contexts. So, according to the etymology, the word metamorphosis is divided in three important parts. The first is meta, which means beyond or after. This part beyond brings us the idea that the metamorphosis is a kind of a process or transformation which can go beyond or more than we can imagine, more than we can define even. It brings or gives me the idea of a complete transformation because it goes beyond or more than we can expect, means complete. So if I wanted to compare the metamorphosis of someone else and with our life is relating to God, I will start to think this meta, or the first part of the word here, means God wants to operate in our lives a complete, fully transformation. It means touch in each area, in each different aspect of our lives, the internal and also the external, to the point we can live a real and true Christian life based in Christ and His Word. So meta here means, or can be understood as, a complete transformation. The second part, morph, is the second part of the word, means form. It is the external form or physical structure. It is exactly what I was saying 1 second later. This external part, or the morphology, as we see here, morphology is all we can see by eyes. The appearance, the style, the form, the structure is relating or associated or defining as morph or morphology. If I try to compare the morphology or the morph, which is the external form or external part of physical structure of the concept, I can say this part can be associated with our testimony or our Christian walk. And it means this part which is external, everybody can see. For this reason, God says in His Word, be careful with your testimony. He said to all of us. Why? Because around us we have millions and millions and millions of witnesses, people who are looking and checking on us to see how we are walking, what we are saying, which kind of words or vocabularies we are using, how are our actions or reactions, how our Christian walk has been doing day by day. Some of these people do this because they wanted to criticize us, accusing, condemning us because of our mistakes, like they did with Jesus in the very beginning. But the other people, more innocent, I think, they don't want exactly to accuse us, but they believe in our Christian life. They are following us, almost reproducing, almost to repeating what we are doing in the style of life we are living day by day, right? So, in one or other way, because accusation of the others, or because some people are following us, believing we are walking and living the true Christian life, we have to be very careful, because this external part, which is compared with morph, which is the physical external, can be very, very under our care and attention. So in the last part of the word is osis, which is associated with our actions, conditions, and states. These three references here, actions, conditions, and states, are parts of the same process which happens inside, or as parts of this transformation God wants to operate in our lives. This is the perfect, complete metamorphosis, which touch and reach and want to transform each singular aspect of our lives, including our actions, which is expression of our character, which we'll see right now. So, also, we'll work with the grammar. In fact, when we go to etymology, we are already working with the grammar, But specifically, I will go to some rules because I believe the grammar teaches us how to use the rules correctly and also at the end how to define the words exactly without mistake or no confusion, right? So the grammar is absolutely important when we are studying terminologies in general. It is really very necessary. So grammatically, we see that metamorphosis means change, alteration, modification, reform, conversion, go back, and transformation. Also, to not be singular, just transformation, I bring here the complete concept with transformation process for a new adaptation. So, transformation process is better than just transformation. And at the end, a variation or change from one state to another. It is all kind of a concept. But I ask you, in your opinion, why we have so many different words in the same list? Apparently, it does not make sense because they are kind of different, right? So I bring it here for two reasons. One, because in some contexts, we will see all these words together, or part of them, or at least more than one of these all together in the same line as part of the same sentence or context of the text. Why? Because they are all very well associated with metamorphosis or transformation. They are all part of the same topic. And the second, because they have a very little difference between one another, and this little difference is very necessary to make a complete concept. In other words, these terminologies or these definitions complete each other, and at the very end make my concept about metamorphosis full, complete, without nothing missing. And I like this part because each one of them bring me a new idea about how can I think, define, or apply the concept or the word metamorphosis. For example, if you think about change, you think about an action that produces something new, right? In other words, change produce or result in something new. The alteration makes the process variable. This kind of variation or this ability to vary depends of this concept, alteration. So, in this case, it makes the process variable refers to what? Before we were dead. Now we are alive. Before we were in darkness. Now we are in light, in Jesus' light. Before we were living under our sinful nature. Now we are living the God's holiness. So this kind of variation or alteration, change from one state to another, one condition to another, is relating to this word. The modification, which is almost the same, means what? The modification in this context breaks something original. And when I say the word original, I am referring to our sinful nature. Originally, before Jesus, we were all very, very under our sins. We were completely deformed and sick, spiritually sick. We were lost. We were under condemnation, nothing else. But God came, He changed our life, also our destiny. For this reason, this original state or condition where you and me were in our horrible and dark and destructive sense now disappear. At least we are working hard with ourselves to not come back there. And now from this point, work together with God under His powerful holiness. This modification breaks the original sad situation or condition under each one of us were before. The word reform, in my opinion, refers to fix or make something that was old becoming new. I mean, reform or reformation, he changed, he made a complete arrangement, a complete transformation, a complete change from the old to the new. We were old men. Now we are new, no matter as our physical age. I am talking about the inner, the internal man, the spiritual internal man we are yet. Before this old man was old, now this man is new, this new nature which lives inside of us now. So the next word here is conversion. It talks about what? It talks about the change of direction, right? Conversion. Before Jesus, if you were living to the going to the left, now with Jesus or from Jesus, we turn to the right. We change complete of the direction. It is conversion. It is something very powerful, because if after Jesus we continue to go to the same direction, nothing changes, it will be really something to make us worry, because in this case the nature didn't change, the desires, the options, the decisions, even the consequences, nothing changed. We have to really stop, think, I am really under this process of metamorphosis, I am really being transformed, or I am lying to myself. Because it's possible, it happens, yes, it's possible. When we don't give up, when we don't want to give to God, to renounce, to negate ourselves, to out-negate our old man, and throw all this in God's feet, he ask for his help, it is possible to, before you ready to the left, you have to Jesus continue to the left, doing the exactly same things, get the exactly same consequences. It is not really a true and real transformation. Probably the transformation even didn't start if the picture as this I am trying to describe, right? So next here is go back. Go back to where? To the old man, to the old sinful nature. No, I'm not referring to this. When I say go back here, I am trying to mention go back to the image of Christ. Because before, in our sins, we broke this image. We were deformed. We were very, very destroyed. We were sick. And now, when it came to Jesus, Jesus cleaned us like someone will take a shower, is completely clean, and then the image of Christ, under his holiness, under his powerful mercy, is recovered in our lives. We return to his image. For this I use the word go back. In transformation, which is the most common definition, it transmits or teaches us what? The transformation, in this case, producing something new, different from what already exists. Transformation is, I am like this, now, after transformation, I will be someone new. Even my style, my way how I speak, my way how I think, how I live will be completely new, because I am passing, crossing through this process of transformation. And to be more complete, not just transformation, I try to create a complete definition. Transformation process is the exact expression. Transformation process for a new adaptation. Why new adaptation? Because before nothing was new. Again, we were in the darkness, now we are in the light, which leads us to a new life, a new adaptation, from the death to the life. from the same to God's holiness. We left everything old to adapt ourselves to this new style of life according Jesus Christ. And at the end is also a variation or change from one state to another, from the death to the life, right? From one state, death, to another, life, to the old, from the old to the new state in Jesus Christ. It is all. So we see here this image. For me, or however I'm trying to explain, I can compare with this image. It is exactly like we see here. This process proves that the caterpillar we see here at the beginning will not always be a caterpillar. Then, to not be forever as a caterpillar, or for us not to be forever as old people, sinful people, deformed people, what needed to happen. So in this case of the caterpillar, what happened? This process of transformation starting and goes and developing very slowly. Then slowly it goes through the whole process of change, and little by little it transforms until to become what? A beautiful, perfect, and colorful butterfly, right? So we see here we just have the caterpillar. The next, the process of transformation starts, and the caterpillar starts to hide itself inside of the cocoon. The next is even more. The third is complete inside of the cocoon. It disappeared. This is the process of death, when the old caterpillar decides consciously to die, to renounce, to give up its old life, old style, old nature, to hide itself inside of this cocoon. It was completely there. Next is almost ready to open, and then next starts slowly to open, next a little more, and the last completely out. In the very end is completely free of its old nature. Something similar happens with us. We are this very little, maybe I'll say ugly caterpillar. We are yet in the old nature of sin. But when we understand and consciously decide with God's help, we can come and jump into this next part of the process, which is completely death. We give up ourselves. We make a huge decision to abandon our old life, our old language, our old character, our old ugly thoughts, as a judgment, condemnation, all these things we have naturally in our lives, in particular if we are yet separated of God. When we decide to make this huge decision, this part of the process starts. I believe this is the most painful part of the whole process. It's the most, because this is the part of the negation. We are negating ourselves. We are giving up completely. We are renouncing absolutely everything. And then we accept to die in our sinful nature, in our own will, our bad character, our ugly reactions, our ugly everything. We give up here, and then we are in very quiet space of the time, waiting until God decides it is our time to come out. And then as the butterfly, we see the process continue until this beautiful new thing will come at the end. And see the difference. The beginning was this format, this appearance, and at the end is this appearance. Is completely another person. I will say like this. Is another Christian. You, old man, in the last, the new man, a child of God, under His holiness, and under His complete transformation. For this reason, I love this word, metamorphosis, because meta, the first part, as I say 1 minute behind, 1 minute ago, meta means, in my idea, means complete, not just as the first part of the word, not just beginning, a very important concept, but is also something which expresses the complete or fully transformation, to the point that the last hill at the end is completely different from the first hill we have. Yes, it's hard to think they are the same life, just transformed. One is ugly, the other is beautiful, is very colorful, and all these things. So even the word transformation, or this concept of transformation of this whole word, is also found in Hebrew of the Old Testament. In this case, I will use just 2 words or 2 verbs to express the idea of transformation in the Old Testament or in the Hebrew. So the first word in Hebrew here is lehatimia. Lehatimia. He always reading from the right to the left, which is the right way to read in Hebrew. Lehatimia, which means change, resulting in a new form, substance, state, or product. So as a change, if this change brings resulting, the result has to be good, has to be new, has to be very wonderful, because we are now talking about God's transformation in our lives. The transformation during the whole process of our Christian life. So this change, according lehatimia, make everything new, even the form, substance, state, or product. If we talk about us, our life, however we are, substance, what we have inside, our condition or state, is the final result, the product. I mean, lehatimia affect all single aspect, in area, in level of our lives, which is very, very important. So the next word, the next verb in Hebrew here is shinui. Again, from the right to the left, shinui means change, alter, modify, transfigure, transform, replace, or convert. So again, we see different terminologies, as I explained before in the same word, metamorphosis. We see these words are different. They are here because sometimes they are together, like they are common, they have the same meaning in some contexts, just also because they refer to the same idea of metamorphosis. But also they are here because they have a little difference between one another. And because they are different between them, they can complete, wholly, fully complete the concept of metamorphosis. And this is the part I most like, or like most, because each difference between them help me to better understand the whole concept of metamorphosis. but they are very appropriated, very well associated with shinui from Hebrew. So, as we see here during these different concepts, both terms, lehatimia and shinui, refers to process of be different. We explained already this, right? So before we were old men, now we are new. Before we were in darkness, now we are in light. Before we were dead, now we are very alive in Jesus Christ. So a process to be different. Also, both terms refer to substitute one thing for another. Old man for a new man. Dead man for one alive. One thing for another. Also, both terms refer to turn a different form, nature, content, or course from what it is to what it should be. In other words, what we are now needs to be what we should. Talk about something which will yet happen, future. It can be tomorrow, can be even 1 hour after here. So in this case, God is yet working in our lives to the point to desire in His heart to make us better. This is the idea I bring here, better than we are now. Now again, as we see in the top, these both concepts, which means change, transformation, or metamorphosis, they work in each single aspect of our lives. Form, nature, content, course. Form, how we are. Nature, it is our origin. We are specialists in making mistakes in our sinful nature. Our content, however we bring our lives through our years of existence, and course talks about the future. Can change absolutely everything. Yet at the end, both terms refer to give up something to get something else in exchange. Dead for life, darkness for light, bad for good. Give something to get something back as exchange, right? So all we see in our life which is not good, not holy, and not positive, we need to throw to God. And I am very sure He will be so able to continue to work in our lives in order to make us better than we are now, according to His nature. Now we'll see that the genuine transformation just happens when, number one, we consciously detect the personal aspects of our character. This word here, consciously, is very, very important. I am to be conscient. You need to be very conscious about what you are deciding, what you are doing now, where you want to go, or what we want to do with our lives. We need to have this kind of conscience to understand, like intelligent people. We are not doing something because, well, everybody dies, I will do. No. We have a reason. We need to think seriously. I am like this, I understand. I admit, I assume, I need to change. I need to experience a huge change in my life. Conscious. We need this, and God expect. We get it. We start our process from this point, from our conscience. So now, to detect the personal aspects of our character. We know character is all we are, right? Character is my actions, reactions, words, in everything we are. We define here as a character. For example, as habitual, life, emotional aspect, our psychological area or aspect. These three aspects of our life are enough to define our character. And also our social and behavioral life. So these three here can be shown. We can be seen through our social life or contact with the others, or through our behavioral, what we do as behavior or conduct, and that it needed to be corrected, because this the word consciously is associated with to be corrected. If we have this attitude to admit honestly we need help in this and this aspect of our lives, we will be helped. We will see our deformations, I will say like this, our little deformation be corrected for good. So the genuine transformation happens, number 2, when we admit our need of change. This point is very, very true. I think it is even the first point. We need to admit, we need to understand, we need to see we need help for change. If you do not admit, no one will do it for us. No one can decide for me. I need to see very honestly, admitting this and this or this aspect of my life. I need help. I need to change. I need to come to God and throw in His feet all my heavy situation I have inside of me. He asks for help. As you know, He always is very willing to help us, no matter how bad we are. So we admit our need is our responsibility. No one will do it for us. Number 3, genuine transformation happens when we work hard. Brothers and sisters, we have a part, a kind of amount of work which are in our hands and we have to work with. No one will do our part of this job. No one. Even the angels of the heaven will not come to work in my place and do things that only I can do. Which kind of thing I can do? I can renounce, I can give up, I can confess, I can ask for help, I can admit I need help. Things like this, no one will do. Even the angels will not. God put in front of us all the possibility. He give us the free will, as you know. We decide if we want to know, if you desire to know, if you understand to know. I don't believe even God will do our parts. He wants to work together with us, like daddy and child, or daddy children, together with his children. He wants to see our participation. He wants we work hard with our difficult aspects of our lives. Number 4, genuine transformation happens when we submit ourselves to the power of Christ. It is so necessary. No one will do anything good in our lives if you don't depend on His power. Even the Bible says in John 15, verse 5, the text says like this: without me, says Jesus, you can do nothing. Without me, don't expect, don't wait, because nothing will happen. Without me, you can do nothing. We need to submit ourselves to the power of Christ, because this is our huge condition to help us to get the goal to change and be more like our Jesus. Number 5, genuine transformation happens when we totally depend on Him. This is a very crucial point. If you don't depend on God, we will lose time energy, intelligence, opportunity, everything else around will lose it, because depending of him is the very most important step we need to make. Again, I repeat the verse in John 15:5. Jesus say, without me, you can do nothing. Separate or apart of me. Don't wait anything, because anyway, however you do, the result will not be huge like when Jesus is involved with. So it's necessary our dependence of him. In number 6, this dependency is on God. Eu put all big letters to help us memory to keep this information. Our dependency has to be on God and not of ourselves. The times I depended of me, it was a disaster. I was even more frustrated than before. But the times when I depended on him, it was very wonderful. Even I was very surprised. I didn't expect it could be so wonderful. Yeah, it was very wonderful because my dependence was on him and not in myself. So in this case, we'll see from this point, the most important thing about metamorphosis is, as a process, it always advances. It never goes back. I mean, it always goes forward, right? Always walk to the front, always going forward. Never go back, never come back, never retrocess. Always goes forward. This is the style of God. He never look back. He never consider. He never say, do you remember what you said yesterday? Do you remember how you were last year? He never do this. Never goes back. We do, because we are yet bad. We need his help to be better. But he never do this. He never point our past. Never accuse. Never condemn us. Never. He always work from the point where we are. He continue forward, because his intention is to help us to get a huge victory. And second, as a process, it always progresses. Yeah, if it works forward and advances, is logically it always will progress. This is the metamorphosis of God, right? When he is involved in this process, we see progresses. The process never stops. God also never stops. He never regrets what he started in our lives. This is not the opposite. The Bible says, the one who started in you, he will complete what he started, because he is so faithful. The results are always positive, never negative. Why is positive? Because he always goes forward, always in advances, he always progresses. Logically, the result is always positive. It is when the process is by our God. And then, this is what the following text tells us. And now we'll go to Romans 12:2. We see in this verse, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good, and acceptable, and perfect. So this test clearly shows different angles of this idea of metamorphosis or metamorphosis. The first, for example, is, we'll see this first part, do not be conformed to this world. What is this? To be conformed, the word conformation, conform here is, don't get into the mold or the style or the format or the form of this world, because it's not good. Nothing good is in this world, talking about the spiritual and moral life, not really is good. God say, don't be like them. The people who are doing this and this and this, don't be the same. Don't adopt this style because it's not the best for you. The second part here is the word, the verb transformed. Transformation. It refers to what? A change, as we saw, right? But I was checking the original Greek and see the intention of this verb here as progressive. So in all these words, I can read like this, but continue to be transformed. Continue. You must to continue be transformed. Like something started already, and now you just have to continue. So in this case, the action is progressive. It does not happen all once, but like in 1 second, but it happens every day, day by day. The second important observation here is the word renewal. What is renewal? The first renewal in this point appears as a condition for transformation. If you read it here, do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by. The word by here is a preposition, right, in English. And this preposition shows the way how something else will happen. In this case, by is associated with renewal. Renewal is the way or the form, the style, how the transformation will happen. In this case, renewal is a condition for transformation. In other words, if we don't experience any kind of renewal, if you are not involved, if you don't see, if your experience does not involve this renewal, we say here, will not be transformed. It is something so serious to think. So, as a condition, it is very, very important. So, as I say, we are transformed from renewal to renewal. Therefore, the transformation is progressive. Don't forget this. I mean, every day. Without renewal, there is not transformation. It is very sure. The next word here is mind. In mind, in this context, does not refer to the physical mind. I say this because some doctors in the past, I was reading about this, some of them say, for example, the doctor appointment, we need to make an exam in your mind, referring to the head, the internal part of your head. I forgot the word exactly, but it's the internal part. So, but in this context, does not refer to the physical aspect of your body, but to the ability to understand and comprehend. And by the way, this kind of ability to comprehend or to understand or comprehend is also very well connected with discernment. God aspect we understand with discernment, because this kind of process, this mystery, we cannot understand easily like we understand any other easy thing in our life. It's not possible. We need a discernment to really understand what God has in his mind for your life and me to my life during this process of transformation. The next part is by testing you may discern. And here we have again the word. When we read this part, the only thing I think is this expression, by testing you may discern, talks about experience. And even in a very high level of experience. Why I say very high level? Because discernment is more than to know, is more than to understand, is more than to comprehend. Discernimento é to see more than we even can imagine. A seeing something even which does not exist yet. Is the ability to see more than with our eyes or more than with our intellect, is much more than this. So for this reason, I think this part talks about a very high level of experience, which we call discernment. And to get this part, we also need to associate with a practical action. I mean, city refers to experience, practical action also talks about life, right? So, this is my main point. To have discernment or spiritual discernment, it's necessary to have life, real life, deep life with God. And for this, I use this expression, practical action, experience, all involved in this point of life. Is necessary to get to this point, because if you don't know how to develop a life without God, our lives will be very boring and very dead. For this reason, so many people live as a Christian, but like just by appearance. They are just religious people. They are just denominational. Ou seja, denomination, religion, appearance, all these things, it does mean that. It is synonymous of that. But he calls us to discern, to use something higher than any other ability I or you as a Christians can develop in our lives. This is one of the most important part of this text. He is calling us to a real experience of life, which will give us the ability to discern, to see more than we normally see in our normal human life. The other thing is discern what? What is the will of God? And the will of God here is the main purpose of this whole reference. God is teaching us step by step to get the complete transformation, which is our topic today, and for what? To the end, know very well His will. This is absolutely the main purpose. Our thoughts, transformation here is the main goal. For us, the main goal is be transformed, but for God, His main idea is to reveal His will and help us to know and to see clearly His will, how high, how powerful it is. In the last, we see the qualities of this or His will, which is good, acceptable, and perfect. Three powerful positive qualities. Good because He is good. Acceptable because at the end of this process of transformation, we will feel much better. We will feel nice. We will feel more comfortable. We will after all this process of healing, will be much better. For this, acceptable and perfect because God never makes mistakes. So it is all very positive. And why the result of His metamorphosis in our lives is perfect? Because the qualities of His will are all very perfect. Yet at the end we see His style or name, we can say in this moment, God. Just to make sure this will is His and not mine, it's not your will, it's not our system, it's not our program, it's not our imagination, it's not our will, but it's God's will. For this, He is very serious. We cannot say, oh no, God, wait there, think again, think twice. No. He does not give us even any option to discuss, to complain, or anything. He does not. And by the way, guys, this part he will express a command. God says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed. Transform yourself. This is a command. he does not give us a suggestion, it is not an option, it is not an opinion, it is not a request, it is a command. Be transformed. Or if no, your life will be a little broke, will not be complete, will not be full. If the proposal I have in your life will not be possible because you didn't pass this step of transformation. So in Greek, we see here the original text, which is the same we have in English. And it says, kai me sinschηματίζεσθε το αἰῶνι τούτω, ἀλλά μεταμορφώστε τε ἀνακαινώσει του νοός. Esto δοκιμάζειν ὑμᾶς το θέλημα του θεοῦ, το ἀγαθὸν kai εὐάρεστον kai τέλειον. As the exactly same reference, yeah, we don't have time anymore to go word by word. For this reason, I just highlighted here the word metamorphosté, which is the same transformed. So this word is original. For this, I bring this verse, which is very powerful, Romans 12:2. And all these things I say, I took it here from the original Greek. This is one of my favorite texts in the Bible. So transformation process is also made by cycles. Do you know steps, phases, cycles? Because if you know, we will not be able to handle all this huge transformation. If God decided to do just once, boom, in our lives, maybe he will kill us because it will be too much pain for a human people like us. We have so many aspects in our lives which need his powerful touch. For this reason, in his powerful wisdom, he decided to work in our lives by cycles. So the first here we call period of death, which is similar of the cycle when the caterpillar come inside of the cocoon and stay there for a long time. We exactly don't know how long, until it is ready to come out in other form or the format. So period of death is the period when you and me will give up so many things of our lives in God's hands and let him work in our lives completely in a powerful way to the point to change our lives and make us very similar to Jesus. So the next cycle here is mourning phase. So some authors say period of death, the mourning phase are the same. And for this, in some contexts, we will see they together, but I personally don't agree. I think mourning comes after death. I don't think they come together. So I am kind of following my sequence of comprehension. So I think we first die. I am talking about the sinful nature, right? We will not physically die. Our sinful nature will die once we give up to God. We are already starting the process of death. We are dying. And then the mourning phase is the time when we will recognize how much we changed, how much beautiful we are now, how much happy, how much complete. We are much better now than before this period of death. So for this is the mourning phase, to recognize how much better we are right now. It is like this image. We see here, the first was the little egg. The egg transformed in a little caterpillar. The caterpillar, between one and other space, had other steps which are not here, but slowly this caterpillar started to come inside of the cocoon, he was completely inside of the cocoon. It is the period of death. It is negating, give up, renouncing everything inside of this cocoon. So here, the cocoon started to be red and the butterfly started to come out and more until it's completely out, yet at the end it's completely free. This is God's desire. We cross all this hard and painful process of renounce or desistance or give up to him, but at the end we are here so beautiful and completely free, living a very powerful and sweet life with him. Why change is not easy? Why this process of metamorphosis is so hard? Why in some moments is so painful too? Why? So then I have this image which maybe at the first does not like very beautiful, but it is more or less what we are before our process. We are a little ugly, deformed, sick. We do not have so many things like peace. Sometimes we don't have hope. Sometimes we cannot smile. Sometimes we cannot think clear because we have so much on our mind. We are really bad. We need help. We are like this little ugly thing. But with these ugly things we are, God wants us to work very much. So because it is hard, he wants us to help us. Then the question why change is not easy. It is because it requires renounce, right? Renunciation, surrender, which is, in other words, death, as I say already. Death to our old man, old sinful man, and old sinful nature, as the following text shows. In John 12:24 we read, Truly, truly, I say to you, unless the grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. So we see here we have just two options. If this grain of wheat dies, produce a lot of fruit. I'm sure good fruits. But here the first part says, if it does not die, what happens? Remain alone. So we plant a seed here in the ground, right? This is the idea. Once inside of the ground, this seed needs to die. Because after to die, after some days, with the water or sun, the little plant will convert in something new, which is another plant. And days later, the plant started to come out, and then beautiful leaves and fruits and all these things. We can think a lot of fruits, and fruits in abundance, que much is plural, right? It gives the idea of a plural, more than one fruit. But if not, what happens? The seed will be there alone. It remains alone. No fruits, completely dead. I don't want it to be this kind of seed. I'm sure you don't want to. For this reason, it's better to say, yes, God, I accept, I agree. Even if you don't understand everything, I agreed with you because I believe you always have the best for me. I agreed to die. Help me to not give up in the middle of the process. In particular, in that time when compared with the cocoon, the thing is completely closed. I am there very time for so long, waiting for your time, not mine, because in some moment I will be so desperate, I want to jump out of there. Let me suffocate because I'm missing so many other things from my old life. Help me to not jump out of this process. Because if I do, I will be alone. I will not produce. You will not see fruits in me. My testimony will continue to be horrible, even worse. Help me to die, and then I will fructify for your glory. In the name of Jesus. So, it is like the oyster. The oyster is more or less this. This photo for me is not really beautiful. Sorry to say this, but I see these things here. I don't see anything really beautiful, but I see inside of this little things here, this oyster, we see what? We see several pearls, right? And almost every single part of them, several so important and beautiful pearls. What happened? They come out, someone has to put the hands there or use some instrument or something to take off, right? So for the pearls to be found, the oyster must be what? Wounded. It's the same with us. Someone will put his finger there to take this pearls, right? Boom, like this. Maybe painful for this little thing. It's something similar. I imagine God does something with us. He touched us, in particular in these aspects of our lives which are already sick or wounded. And it causes pain. For this reason, I don't believe God will heal us. He will not apply his healing or restoration, or he will not transform us completely in just one click like this, because we will not handle so much pain. We can die. He will kill us if he does this. For this reason, God gives us a privilege to go through a whole complete process through our whole life. Then the pearls usually is wanted to lose its pearls. Now the pearl at the end of the transformation process results like this. Now see, this beautiful pearl here is the same with the here. The difference is this looks a little ugly for me, and here so beautiful, but it's the same. How it ended like this? Because at the beginning, this little oyster had to accept to die, to accept to lose its pearls, to become this beautiful things we see here, this beautiful transformation, right? Also, it is like the gold at the maximum temperature. Here we see a very hard, resistant stone, a raw stone, I can say. It is gold, but the format is not beautiful. It's deformed, I will say, right? It does not have a beautiful, organized, imperfect form. It's just kind of raw. To get a form, what happened? This raw, resistant, deformed has to start be under the process of fire. But this fire is yet soft. It's not a maximum temperature. Is yet very gentle. Why? Because the process is just starting, like God with us. God never, boom, if he does it with me, oh my, I don't know what happened, I will not resist. You start very gentle, like with this raw, resistant, deformed, hard stone, like us, hard people sometimes. And God started like this. this fire is yet solved. But now the next what you see, more intense level of treatment, when the gold is totally transformed, becoming liquid. When it happens, because the process was intensified. The first is solved just to make a little experience, but now is really true. And now you see, this is the same gold of this. This is raw, very resistant, and now started to be beautiful and very different. And the final is this beautiful, the beautiful jewel we see, right? This, who don't like jewelry? I like. So for this I see it is so beautiful, but it is a consequence of the whole process. Now, never I was able before to imagine this beautiful piece as the same of this raw, hard and resistant stone. In the form of the stone, resulting in this beautiful piece we have here, just because this resistant, deformed, raw stone accepted to submit itself to the whole process, intensity by intensity became like this. At the end, I believe God wants to make us a beautiful piece like this we see at the end. It just depends of us. Now, what happened, or what would happen if, shall we break an egg to help the chick get out faster? You know, the little egg under the chicken, we go there, make a little hole. Hello, chick, come out. We are here, want to play together. What do you think we'll do if you do this? If you break the egg before the time? We'll kill the little chick, right? We will kill it. Hey, if we force this other part of the flower, the rose body, to leave the branch faster to become a flower, we see the little pieces there. The rose bud is there, close yet, but you go there, start to lift each leaf for every around, and you say, okay, flower, you can open now. What will happen? We'll kill it. We'll kill the flower before it becomes a flower. And if you cooperate to that, a butterfly comes out of the cocoon faster. We are talking about butterfly, right? How if you go to the cocoon, you make a little hole, you call the butterfly to come out faster? We'll kill it. Now, why we are going to kill them? The chick, the rose body, and the butterfly. Why? I can say this. Why we say we'll kill? One, because we will be violating the specified and necessary time for its process to be completed. God decided the process, how it will be, for how long in our lives. If you try to accelerate, we'll just kill the plan. It maybe kill our spiritual life, making us go back to the darkness and continue to live separated of Him. So the first reason, we violate in the time which is already specified and also necessary for the process to be completed. And that is the process has its determined time. And we just wait. This is the main point here. We just must wait, Because everything we do by ourselves is separated of God without God's help. We end this bad, right? Never will end as well. And on the other hand, if God treats all our wounds, as I said before, at once He will kill us. We will not tolerate, for this is important to wait for our specific time to complete our normal process of transformation. He does not want to kill us, but because we cannot handle so much pain together, it will happen. We will kill, probing our faith, our motivation, our confidence, our life of holiness. All can become worse. We need to wait for God's time, which is not easy, but is necessary. In the same way that we cannot violate, change, or destroy the normal time of the process that each one of these, chicken, the flower, or the butterfly, need to wait for, we cannot change or even accelerate God's time in our lives. He knows what we need, so we just must believe in Him and wait, because He never makes mistakes. Our God is so faithful. He never makes confusion. He never forgets what He started. He never makes mistakes. We know about this. So, you have changed. This is a kind of illustration I found the other day. You have changed. Good news. So this image says, you have changed. This is the caterpillar, right? Not transformed yet. And the other is already transformed. You have changed. We are supposed to. Yeah, this is our nature, our new nature in God leads us to a normal change, normal transformation. So if we don't transform, if you don't see, if others don't see transformation in our lives, something strange is happening there. So one caterpillar apparently don't see he didn't change, or it didn't change, but it can see the others changed. I mean, everybody will see when you change. Everybody will notice when I change. And for this reason, sometimes some people say, oh, wow, you have something different. Yeah, I don't know what is. I don't know how to define. I don't know what you have, but you have something different. Something mysterious you like. Something very... They don't know how to define it, but they know something new is in our lives. And this is the goal. Not because the people, no, this is the last part. It's because ourselves, we need healing, we need peace, we need to be very well connected with God's holiness. And also we do this, we accept this process because our God deserves our complete transformation. So the next image is the opposite. The transformed a caterpillar talks to the one who is not yet. The transformed one says, if you don't transform, you'll never fly. It is very, very true. If we don't transform, if you don't accept to submit ourselves under this process, we never will be in higher places. God will not be able to use our lives to serve Him in the ministry, in His ministry, if we don't accept the transformation. If we prefer to be in our darkness, our sinful nature, our confusion, our dead situation, He never will use you or me for His glory, because we are yet so ugly, so deformed, so sick, so lost. What will do for other people? What you teach, what you preach, what you do, what they will see by our testimony? All confusion, because we are not transformed. For this reason, I agreed completely with this message. If you don't transform, consequence is you never will be able to fly, to go higher. You will not be able to be for glories, the glory of God, because things does not match with His holiness. This is sad, but it's true. So you have changed. I had to change. When I say I had, because in my mind, this is my natural course, my natural direction. Once I was born again, the next step is start the process of metamorphosis, according God's will to my life. If it does not happen, something is very wrong with my life. Or I never accepted Jesus, or I never opened my life to invite Him to be part of me, or something I do not understand is happening, but it is not normal. Once we accept Jesus, we need to go directly through this process. If you want to be to His glory, it is the natural step to happen. So, allow your identity to come from God. This is very important final step here. God wanted to restore our identity. So many people don't know who they are anymore, but God can also restore our identity. And this final image I bring here shows a little fragile cat looking at the mirror. It is a mirror, it's not a photo, okay? So the little cat look himself or itself, right? In the mirror. But when they look into the mirror, he does not see his little fragile face of a cat, the little cat. He sees a big, powerful, and furious lion. Ooh, much big. Does not match very well, but do you know why it happens? It is the final process, the very, very final intention of the process of transformation. And it consists in seeing ourselves powerfully, very powerfully, covered with the powerful blood of Jesus and the power of Christ. When the power of Christ is in our lives, we see everything different. Everything is possible because the power of Christ is the maximum in our lives. By doing this, even our image of ourselves also will be different. I mean, we will see ourselves different, not just the people. For this reason, for me, it is a very sweet comparison. In conclusion, the little and fragile cat don't see itself anymore. The image about himself or itself changed through the mirror. Now he's seeing, and now because the power of Jesus in this person, we can see our image different. Before we were so shy, we had so much fear, we were so coward, we were so hateful people. Now we are like a powerful lion, full of power. God wants to restore our identity. I want He complete what He started in my life. I needed it so much. And every day, this is my prayer. When I pray for myself, this is my own point. Help me, God, to see, to be like your Son, Jesus. Because if I don't get to this point, I maybe will have so many questions to ask to myself. What happened? I have to be different. So my question is, how you see yourself now? If you look yourself in the mirror like this little cat, what do you see? Yourself? Or even something lower, even more poor, more dirty, more ugly? How you see? Or you see something above, or someone above, more beautiful, more powerful, more happy, more blessed? This is the idea of the final step of the metamorphosis of God. So, as we have been, metamorphosis is synonymous with give up aos old inner for God and abandonment of aos bad habits. At the end, we understand that metamorphosis is death, literally, death of our sinful nature e aos old men. Once doing so, we give place to Him, to God. Then my question at this point is, are you ready to start and to complete this process, which is not easy? Are you ready for this? Then I hope this topic has added something new to your life, like to mine too. It is a blessing to share with you, and I see you next video. Bye bye.